Hello, hello, hello. Okay, it's live. Cheer. Whoops. Cheer. Hedge. That's one. I have to pull out the other one too. Not muted, right? Great short op. We'll look at that. Chop, entry, scratch, doubled down here and exploded. Cheer hedge. 1548 and 1920. We're gonna do 1920 first. I'm watching 08s. 0825. This distribution, we were in here, we're out now. I'm looking at 0825 and I'm looking at tape. See the 21 that sells right there? And the 75 that sells there. We come back up. 75 that bids. It's 10, 16, okay? Leave me alone. 75 bids. All these people at 0925 and 0975 on the bid, but mainly the 75. Price is going to come back up to 0825s, I believe. Yeah. Oh 08 even. See the 38 there? We jump up. Buyers try to get in. They can't move they can't move the queue higher. That's the short opportunity right there. Is what I wrote down. Great short op. S cont note. S cont meaning price was selling off here into no man's land. Continuation. I'm not one for trading value area highs, but I should have taken it here, or I could have taken it here. 31 at 08. See how tape dries up now? Bid hits lower instead of higher. Nothing on the sell side. Nothing there. And price is still moving lower, so it's Q driven. Then 16 hits. And the Q pulls again. That's why it goes like that. It's all fast and violent and hairy. It's just not super good price action. But see, and now I'm watching the tape again, and that's your fault. But that's the whole trade. After the rotation down there, you'd scratch it like 0675, unless you could get it for the full 8 ticks or whatever. Great S, and then 1548. This move was hard to read and I got sidelined for a lot of it because there wasn't any tape. It was primarily Q driven. I think it was a market maker hedging uh, 0 DTE, 0 day till expiration exposure. I'm not 100% certain, and there's no way I can know, but it was Q driven. It was Q driven, and so it was like hard to read, driven by limit orders. It wasn't hard to read. It was more difficult to read. It was driven by limit orders, and price was kind of dilated, meaning there'd be like a flux of orders, and then tape would disappear, and they'd pull up on limits. I mean the limit queue, ask queue would pull, and so price would expand that way. 1548. Okay, so I missed it. Anyways, I witnessed this nasty rip from even below 275, I think. I mean, it was just going, and I didn't really know what to do. I was like a deer in the headlights. If that happens again, I'm just gonna sit and watch and not touch anything because it's the best thing to do. I would love to do that actually. I could watch the market all day and not trade. I do that anyways now. So here, I think I won 2 trades and I'm hot to trot, and I think it's a generational trend, right? And so everybody else trading this is probably also thinking the same thing, that it's a generational trend. I add here because value's holding and I'm excited. This is a visual representation of the cheer hedge, even though I don't jump up and down and dance, right? So, and then we're immediately underwater, and then they just slowly walk it down, and we're negative here. And notice how I don't have a stop because I didn't press the flat key, so it was just on the books with no stop, and then I closed. Well, that reminded me of the cheer hedge, which is why I wrote it down. And sequential positioning. Sequential positioning I stole from another trader. No cheering until you square up. Uh, blah blah blah. Cheer hedge. Early in my career, desk manager. Anytime my traders yelled or pumped his fist or cheered in any way for a profitable position, the trade turned against him immediately. So persistent. After someone cheered or celebrated, I took the opposite direction. The contrary positions always made money. The contrary positions always made money. Um, this is retarded, and I don't care. When someone around you cheers. This is writing for nerds. Uh, Go the other way. Also writing for nerds. There. Feel yourself wanting to cheer or sing. Take note of that emotion. So if I were to cut this down, I would take this. I would remove the probably. Are feeling the same euphoria. Um, I would take this. Happen at emotional extremes. And the contrary positions always made money. This is on sequential positioning. I'm just going to write it down. I'm not, I'm just going to post it. And we're going to bed. Sequential positioning is reacting after a trader already commits. The phrase, the contrary positions always made money, keyword being always, that's where certainty comes from, is being able to recognize when somebody is offside. First of all, being able to read emotion, which is, I think, harder to do, and I don't really know how to do it. I'm more so better at recognizing when people might be offside. I'm still learning, obviously. So sequential positioning is after that. It's waiting for somebody to commit and then jumping on them or trading against them, and that's where the certainty and that's where the certainty comes from, the profitability of short-term scalpers who have a win rate of 70 to 80%. It's that type of trading. The cheer hedge, which I just read out loud and posted already, me double stacking in the queue at the end of this tail long rally on, was it Friday? It was Thursday. On the 26th was an example of like the quote unquote cheer hedge. Back to sequential positioning. Um, I think that covers most of it actually. Yeah. Let me make sure I'm not muted. So I would say first. I wouldn't say first. Recognizing emotion is important, but knowing when somebody is offside or they've committed to something and you are able to detect what they're committing to. You know, if you buy the value area high, if somebody buys the value area high and all these market orders pile in and the price doesn't move, you know, all it takes is a couple ticks for people to begin to defect from the move, recognize it's not a breakout, and then other traders run for the exit. And if we don't revert back to the mean, we puke and cross the entire distribution quickly as people try to get out on top of each other. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to say. This video right here, 328.26 poor order flow. I when I first started trading, I came from the idea that I would, if I was able to predict price moving up and down, I would make money. And if I put a trade on and it moved in the opposite direction, I had predicted it the wrong way. But it's impossible to know where the market's going, and profitable participants don't read the market like that. They read it from a game theory perspective. They don't recognize, high probability setups, but the price action is a product of emergent behavior. And if you treat the market a a game theory machine, a product of emergent behavior that is a uniform behavior between like 55 other market makers and then thousands of hundreds of participants, hundreds of thousands, then the idea of you predicting where price will go becomes worthless. And from that perspective, the best indicator of future price predictions is knowing when somebody has to put an order into the market. And a primitive version of recognizing that is when somebody's caught offside, which is why market orders are important.